Welcome to Subscription Prescription, the podcast where you get the information you need to scale your subscription program. Hello and welcome to another dose of Subscription Prescription, the podcast where we help you figure out everything related to D2C subscriptions. I'm your host, Matthew Holman, and today we're going to be talking about the secret sauce that goes into making your subscription special. This is the extra stuff, the stuff that you bake into a product, into an experience that makes you truly a subscription brand, driving higher LTV, more loyal customers, building and baking things into just something a little bit different than what everyone else is doing. So today's dose is inspired by a lot of conversations that I have with people that are starting subscription brands. They've got a new product, they're trying to figure out how to make subscriptions work, and they ask me what they should be doing and thinking about. And surprisingly, the answer is not about discounting. It is not about how you can create, hey, if it's $50, you can offer a subscribe and save option for $10 off to make that work. No, it's actually really about thinking through how people are going to use your product, engage with your product, and what you can do to make it feel or be extra sticky over time. So what I want to kind of get into very quickly and first is to lay out some of the top reasons why subscriptions work and conversely why they fail. So the first things first is the product works. You have a great product, whether that's a weight loss supplement, whether that's a skin revitalizer, whether that's something to help you run extra fast, be extra strong, great food for your pets, snacks, whatever they are. The product needs to be great. So that's where you should always start, making sure you have a product that works for the problem that you're trying to solve. So we're going to set that to the side for a little bit and assume that that is what you've been doing and that's what you've got, and we're going to dive into kind of everything else. Now, the next thing when we're talking about what really works for subscriptions is if something is people having a great initial experience and having some kind of form or method over time for it to become part of their routine. And so this can be a lot of different things, whether it's something like that, it's like absolutely vital or important to a goal that they have in mind, or if it's something that comes part of their skincare routine or part of their daily life, whether we're doing toothpaste for your kids. But the trick is when we're trying to get things into somebody's routine-based products have tons and tons of competition, whether that's getting something cheap off Amazon or at Walmart or other brands that are popping up because they see you doing something special. How do you differentiate yourself, right? So when we're thinking about building out this secret sauce for subscriptions, I want you to think about just a few key things. And that is, what does an initial experience with my product look like? And what does an experience with my product look like over time? And I'm going to give you 3 key examples from other brands to give you some inspiration on how to think about this. And this is not just for people that are starting out with their subscriptions. This is for any subscription brand. If you're trying to get more serious about subscriptions, about tactics that are going to make people feel that that subscription offer is a little more compelling and what's going to get them to stick around, this is when you really want to tune in. Ears up, listen in. Okay, so the first brand I want to talk to you about is called XEndurance. Now, XEndurance, I've talked about them on the podcast a number of times. I've had them on as a guest, and I've used their product. I've used their pre-workout this morning when I was at the gym. XEndurance is in a supplement space, which is incredibly competitive all over the market. Every supplement brand out there is trying to position themselves as their ingredients are a little bit better, their delivery system is a little bit better, the gains or whatever you're going to get are a little bit better. XEndurance does something that's special, that's different. Their hero product is an endurance supplement that helps you work out a little bit harder. If you're doing CrossFit, you're a little bit stronger on endurance stuff. I used it when I did a half Ironman 2 years ago. That's what introduced me to the brand and has made me a fan ever since. And what they do that is so special is they understand that the initial product experience needs to be massive. It needs to be important. And for a lot of supplements, it's like, hey, I'm putting a scoop in or I'm taking a pill or something. You don't necessarily just feel like magical all of a sudden unless you're taking something that has THC or in it, right? So no, the difference is they challenge you when you get the product, they're challenging every subscriber, every customer, go do your big workout of the week, take our supplement for another 6 days, and then when that big workout comes up again for your weekly workout, now you're going to measure those results again. They're asking you to validate how effective their product is immediately so that you can see that. And as somebody who's taken that, it was incredible to me because I did it and I felt like it was a huge difference on the run that I was doing from 1 week to the next. And that made me a fan for life. Now, the other thing that XEndurance does that I think is really, really cool is that they have developed more and more products and different aspects specifically for their membership program. So they've got their one-time purchases, they've got subscribe and save, and then they've got a membership element that it's like $100 a year. You get free shipping on all products, cashbacks, and things like that. But if you when you're a member of their membership program, they're essentially got all these different partnerships with other people in the health space, the workout space that you can get discounts on, that they have partnerships with. And what their CFO told me when we interviewed them is that they specifically look at products to release that their members and their long-term subscribers are asking for. So you might not have ever heard of a supplement company that launches skincare, but that's something that they did. They were getting requests for that. They have their other product lines around pre-workout and other things are based off of feedback from their community. So they're not going to totally launch or do a massive launch to a total cold new audience. They're actually developing products for their base that does two things. One, it enhances the brand in the hands of the consumer, right? You now look to them for more things because you trust them. They're a resource for that. But two, it makes your subscribers more profitable. They're buying more from you. They're actually making that choice of, hey, do I want to get pre-workout from this one company or pick it up at GNC, or do I want to get pre-workout from XEndurance? I'm already using some of these other supplements and I know that they work, that they're kick-ass. So I'm going to buy this one too. That's how we need to be thinking about our subscription experiences, is what other things can I develop and release to make my program more valuable to my subscribers. Okay. The second example that I want to bring up to you is Battlbox. Now, I've had John Roman on the podcast. I've been a big fan of their brand for a long time. One of the things that I think Battlbox does a little bit differently, or actually a lot differently than a lot of other subscription boxes or wilderness brands, is their content. John and his team recognized early on that there's this natural play between unboxing and content. Every month you're going to get a box, you're going to get utility knives and different survival gear. And all of these things, when you get them, are kind of interesting. You're trying to figure out how they work. So John and his team have been filming unboxing videos where they explain what's in the product, what you're getting, how it works, when you would want to use it every single time. So it's not just that you're getting a box in the mail and having this interesting or exciting unboxing experience, but they have content on top of that that gets you even more excited, that educates you on the product, that makes sure that you see value from what you're getting in that subscription. Now, the thing that they do that's really kind of fun is a nuance to this is they have different tiers of subscription boxes. Now, a lot of the items that are in the lower tier boxes are all on the biggest one, but they do an unboxing for the biggest ones so that people that aren't on that highest tier actually see what they're missing by not being on that higher tier, right? And then additionally, they've done tons of content on TikTok, Netflix, YouTube, everything they're doing. They've done survival series. They've done fun retention giveaways where they did gold tickets for people to go fire a tank. Everything kind of fits into this idea of people that are getting their product, that are trying to learn, up their wilderness game. All of those things, that content and that product experience work really, really nicely together. Now, I do want to take a pause and kind of just say, like here, especially with this next example we're going to get into, it's really easy to spend way too much time building out this massive experience. All the content you're going to do, all the different products that you're going to release in the future. And it's really, really easy to get kind of lost in that big picture and making sure you get all of those things lined up. What I'm asking you to do as you're listening to this is start thinking through what is available, what is naturally a good fit for what we're doing and what we're offering for a product. What can we do with our product? What can we do with our customer experience to make it a little stickier, that makes it a little bit more impactful for our subscribers, because that's how you build a good subscription experience, is thinking about those things. And a lot of this stuff gets built up over time. XEndurance didn't release a skincare when they released their endurance product, right? That's something they built out over time, right? Battlbox didn't just roll up a Netflix series when they first launched their box. It's something that they've built over time. But thinking through that nice play between how content and product works has been really, really impactful for them. The final brand I want to talk about is Everyday Dose. Now, this is a really, really hot subscription brand. They've been around for several years now, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and a lot of people are looking to them and looking at how they're managing these types of things. And I would like to point out a few things that they do really, really well. The first thing is about the product. They aren't just selling coffee. They're selling coffee that does a couple things. It helps you manage your mood, boosts focus, but also has a digestive element that helps you feel less bloated around coffee. So you actually have a drink that you feel like you can take consistently without some of the negative side effects. You're not feeling jittery, not feeling some of that stomach stuff. You're feeling more focused and more dialed, right? That's why it's your everyday dose. So they've actually designed a product that addresses some of the other negative reasons why people might want to use their product all the time. That's been baked into the formula. So that's the first thing to think about, is building a product that's just a little bit different, works just a little bit differently, and lends itself naturally to something that somebody's going to want to use consistently and over time. The second thing is they have built out this amazing gift structure. They're one of the few brands that are doing this, at least that I think are doing this well, but it's something to think about. What are we going to give to our subscribers, right? In their starter kit, you're getting tons of stuff. Month 2, you're getting a gift. Month 3, I think you get like a little Yeti tumbler, right? When you look at all the stuff that comes for being a subscriber, there's a pop-up, a modal that shows you what you're getting in month 2, 3, 4, all the way down the board, because they're trying to say, hey, we really value you as a subscription customer. Come on in, look at this roadmap of all the things that we've got for you. And then what makes that really more compelling from a subscription experience is they can point to that every time there's a potential churn risk. They're able to point out what more things you have coming to you. And one of the things I think that are amazing there is that they're actually still offering you a lot of the stuff around a 30-day monthly subscription. It's not just attached to like a quarterly or a semi-annual subscription, which is something we've talked about in the past, that sometimes you need that extra margin to be able to offer those gifts. But they're doing that because they're trying to get you in the door and get you in their system, because they know how well they'll be able to retain you. That's one of the reasons that they're able to do that. Okay, so kind of wrapping up here, what I want to just reiterate is this idea of what can we do to think through what makes our subscription more valuable to our end users? What can we do to validate or justify that the product works and how it works early on? What can we do to make the subscription more compelling over time? I think one of the hardest things from a brand perspective is engagement, right? We get somebody to make the purchase, they have the product. How do we do check-ins over time, right? Because if we send too many emails to our subscribers, that can be a really big churn risk. But sometimes if we're just leaving them in the dark, we're not getting feedback, or we're not like empowering them to try other products or to make sure that they're starting their habit and having a good experience. And that's why I say that it's good to think through these types of things of what can we bake into the system that will make our engagement with our good subscribers more effective. Because yes, a lot of people are going to come in and a lot of people are going to try it and be gone, but there's going to be a lot of other people that are on the fence or having kind of like a middle of the road experience or a really good experience that we want to make sure that we're engaging with, that we're giving them the information that they need, showing them how the product works, having a great experience so that they become great subscribers that stick around for a long, long time. Okay, that's it for this week's dose. If you have any questions about what you're building, what you're working on, looking for some other ways that you can add value to your subscription, please drop a comment on this video or reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. I'd be happy to give you some feedback. That's it. I'll see you next week for another dose of subscription prescription. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe so that you can get notified when new episodes come out each week on Tuesdays.